Hi, this is Marko from the death thrash metal band The Crown from Sweden, and you are listening to The Bloodshed with the Vampire on Metal Messiah Radio International. We congratulate Metal Messiah Radio with its 13th anniversary.
Marko, it's a great pleasure to have you here on The Bloodshed with the Vampire on Metal Messiah Radio International.
Thanks, man. Great to be here.
Marko, the band originally formed in Trollhättan, Sweden in 1998 as Crown of Thorns, but were forced to change the band's name due to an American band that already using that name. Music and lyric were and are still inspired by death and anti-religious themes, mostly targeting Christianity and rebellion. The band are known to fuse melodic death metal with aggressive old-school death metal tendencies and considerable thrash metal influences. The band disbanded in 2004 and was reformed in December of 2009. Just with a brief description, Marko, how was the band formed?
It was actually formed in a very typical Swedish way, I would say, because there's a sort of very strong tradition in Sweden that the communities or the government, they help a lot of kids if they want to play any instruments. Like our city of Trollhättan, they have like 10 rehearsal places where you can play with free equipment. And if you ask a lot of metal bands around my age, they all form the same way. So there was a lot of these rehearsal places in these youth centers, that you can go after school and, play ping pong or whatever. But they also had these like rehearsal places. And so actually for many years, we played on rented equipment. And it was basically school buddies that sort of noticed each other that, oh, shit, he is listening to metal. Oh, can you play some instrument or whatever? And it just grew from there. So Jan, Magnus and Johan, they went to another school that I went. So I got to know them. I think they rehearsed maybe a couple of months. And then I got to know Jan and we sort of realized that we shared the same passion for music. And I told him I played the guitar. And a week afterwards, I was playing with the guys, So it's a very sort of typical Swedish way to form a band and start a band. So it just went from there, starting to play a lot of cover songs and just started to get to know each other. And there you go, 30 years later,
But after a while, the band has put on hiatus, for 5 long years. What's the reason that you guys have decided to go on hiatus?
It was quite many reasons, actually, because, as I explained, we started playing when we were so young. We were around 14 years old when we started to play. And from day one, when we started to get the record deals and stuff, the machinery just went on. And all of a sudden you realize that you're 25 years old and all of a sudden you're 30 years old and you have committed so much to the sort of Crown thing, and it is very difficult to sustain that sort of lifestyle and sort of dedication. So for us, it became a lot of the fun went away, when it became so serious and a lot of commitments for, long tours and all of that. So, and to add extra spice to it, Magnus became a father also. So it was sort of his initiate that said that, I can't do the band thing now. I'm going to be a parent, There's some other important stuff here. So there was a lot of different things that sort of came to it. But afterwards, the whole hiatus or break, because it wasn't a break, we actually broke up. That was the plan, that now is the end of the Crown. So, but then afterwards, years went by and kids got a bit older, it started to itch in the fingers again. And sort of wanted to do another album, and it just started on from there again. But luckily, when we sort of came back, it was on so different terms. So now we can actually do this and enjoy, because the time we had a hiatus, we had a good chance to get our lives together. Some of us went back to school, to get an education and stuff like that. Many of us got kids during that time as well. Then when sort of the real life was in all order, then it was a perfect timing to sort of start messing with metal again.
Marko, I like to take the opportunity to congratulate you for the band's new effort, having celebrated the band's 30th anniversary in 2020, the Crown have proven themselves one of the most enduring forces in death metal. I mean, in 2021, the band further up the ante with Royal Destroyer, record that sets a new standard for the genre. I mean, the lineup still have, Johan, Magnus, and you, Marcos, as original members. If you look back 3+ decades, how has the years treated you?
Oh, yeah, that's just to answer that, we should need to share 10 beers and 6 hours, So there's a lot of things that has happened in 30 years and a lot of highlights, lowlights. And I mean, it's been quite a journey. And I mean, when I think of it, I mean, 30 years, that's incredible, actually. And now coming out with album number 10. And I like that Magnus wrote in a press statement that now we're in the big boys club with album number 10. And that's pretty cool. I mean, there's not so many bands that come up to number 10,
That's right.
Marko, what really makes me feel so good is that album number 10 is a fucking good album. It's not like we're going downhill ever since, 10 years back. I mean, this is one of our strongest releases and feedback we're getting is incredible. So it's a wonderful feeling.
Album number 10. How is this feeling after 3 decades? To be able to be part of this great band and to be part of another new release, Marko?
It is fantastic because, I mean, there are bands that continue forever, but they don't necessarily maybe release albums or maybe don't release good albums. But that's something I feel so fucking proud of, is that we are doing still strong albums. And I mean, album number 10, when I look at all the albums, it's one incredible journey. 95, we did our debut album, The Burning, under the name Crown of Thorns, and it just continued from there. And it's an incredible feeling. Too bad with the whole fucking Corona shit, because last year we had such a cool plans since we celebrated 30 years that we would make some over-the-top 3-hour show, play from all albums and stuff like that. But then this shit came along. But I think we can get away with if we can do something like that as soon as possible,
Sure. But Marko, talking about all these years, talking about all, these albums, I mean, alongside a catalog consisting of solid albums released in the past, Cobra Speed Venom was, all in all, an outstanding album with great tunes in the name of that. Cobra Speed Venom, Iron Crown, and many, many more, which was released on March 16, 2016 via Metal Blade Records, and to feature an appearance of, Robin, Sörqvist, and Henrik Axelsson. Marko, how has everything gone? How has tours, festivals gone for this great album, Cobra Speed Venom?
Yeah, we managed to do some really cool shows and even a smaller European tour. Then some cool festivals to it, like the Wacken Open Air and stuff like that. So that is absolutely amazing.
2019, right?
Yeah. After the sort of whole Cobra Speed Venom release, and there's always like a period of a year or two when you can do shows based on an album. And the cool thing is that we actually managed to play even in new countries that we never visited before. We played for the first time in Russia, and we went to Croatia as well. So that's really cool. And we were in Japan again. And I mean, there's a fucking cool things that we still can do. And that is such an amazing feeling. So the whole Cobra sort of response and whatever, I mean, a lot of people saw it as maybe like a comeback album because it was a very strong album. And because we finally had like a lineup to actually work on an album. So, but after that, we continued sort of with the same spirit for the Royal Destroyer as well. So Royal Destroyer is only the second album now with this lineup, and it works fantastic.
Okay, very great. Going to what this new album is about, announcement of the new album Royal Destroyer that was last January 15th. The band have to release new music video for the first song to be lifted from this upcoming album. The single Motor Death, fast, merciless, and loaded with lyrics about a racetrack, pain, and arrogance. The song is everything fans want to hear from the band. Marko, even though most of the world are still on lockdown, but how are the reaction of the fans toward this first sign of the band new album going?
It's really great. I just checked like on YouTube, it's like over 50,000 views in like 1 week. So that's fucking amazing. And the feedback is fantastic. And some people get a bit of a Death Race King feel from it. I guess it's the thrashier thing that we're doing on Motor Death. So, but it's cool. We were just waiting to be able to start releasing songs because there's so many good songs we want to share. And Motor Death being the first, actually mid-February, we're going to release another video. That's going to be a bit more of a surprise song, actually. Let's see how it goes. And then, we are getting closer to March 12th. And then it's going to be a pleasure to unleash all the tracks because there's a lot of variation there. There's heaviness, there's the speed. I mean, Johan has never sung as good as on this one. It's really incredible and good production. I mean, so we just want to get it out, you know.
Yeah. Okay, just like Cobra Speed Venom, when it came time to track the record, the band team up with the legendary producer Fredrik Nordstrom at Gothenburg studio Fratman. Initially scheduled to be recorded in May, but was pushed back. Yes, I think with 5 months. How was it gone? I mean, working this time again with Fredrik at Fratman Studio. What have been done differently compared with the 2018 recording? In what way, having pushed the recording of, back 5 months, have this affected the recording?
It actually did. When we had to decide to postpone it, we felt really frustrated because we were ready to go into the studio in May. But actually, the sort of postponing helped to create a better album because we were at home for like 4 months. We couldn't rehearse anything. So you basically just lie in your bed and think through the album in your head, you know, and you start to think, is this good enough? Is this strong enough? And you start to, focus on a lot of details. So actually, when we sort of came back to rehearse, we did a little change. So we added 2 new songs to the whole album. And I switched 2 songs. We removed 2 songs. And there was 2 new songs that I wrote. What I believe really in the end made the album a very wider album, more various album. We added the sort of very slow, mellow song called We Drift On and the final track Beyond the Frail, the super melodic, super fast. So I think it added more flavor to the whole album. So actually, the Corona created a better album. But working with Fredrik is great. I mean, we found something there when we worked with him in the past, like Death Race King and Possessed 13. But when we did Cobra Speed Venom, we found a way that worked really well. And we were so much in sync there, how to sort of approach the recording is that we go in, we hammer down the songs. We're not going to overanalyze or, over edit stuff. We're going to go in, do maybe 1 or 2 takes per song, and that's it. And if you're well prepared, you can do that. So we actually nailed the whole album, including vocals and leads, in 6 or 7 days. That went really fast. And it was we recorded 12 songs, actually. It's a good way. I mean, that's exactly what we want to do because we feel very sort of confident in what we do. And there's no reason for us to usually you can be in the studio and you sort of, when you record something, you go through and, solo listen to every detail and everything has to be perfect. But for us, it's more about we go in, we make a version and it's like, does it feel good? Yes. Okay. Next one. So then you also hopefully manage to capture a lot of energy in there. So there's this little sort of punk feel to it. It's not overproduced and it's not overdone. It's sort of trying to capture what we actually sound like. So the goal is to sort of do an album where you actually can hear us perform. It's not like it's fixed in the computer and edited into oblivion. It's actually real performances that you hear on the album. And that's something we feel very proud of.
You push back and, added 2 more songs to the album. That's some of the reasons that this album may be more varied than the 2018 one, Marko?
Yeah, I agree. Especially since we managed to include a couple of a bit different type of songs in there. But obviously, the core essence in our music will always be brutal. But if you have followed us for years, you know that on every album there's always 1 or 2 songs where we go into a bit of a different place, and we even done some very mellow, instrumental stuffs in the past. So it's not a super surprise when we come up with a slow sort of song, but we always try to not copy sort of a formula that we have used before. We really try to create songs that has something in there that we never done before. So it sort of keeps it interesting for us and for the listeners. You know, you can hear that it sounds a bit fresh. It's not like it's a Cobra Speed Part 2. It's in the same vein, but it's going elsewhere, you know.
Marko, to continue with this interview, I see the time is flying and we have to talk about Marko sings the band's debut album, Hell Is Here. The bands have been working with Metal Blade Records. Some albums was released through Center Media Record as well. But again, the band returned home in 2018 with the release of Cobra Speed Venom, the band's new effort, Royal Destroyer, which is scheduled to be released this March 12th, again via this prestige label, Metal Blade Record. And I like to thank Nikki Law and and you for this interview. Marko, how are things going with the label in support of this new album? I mean, especially to be released not on this normal situation.
Yeah. First of all, I think Metal Blade does a fantastic job for us, and there's still a lot of people working there that we worked with, way back in the Hell Is Here and Death Race King times, so there's a good bunch of solid people working there. And obviously today with the whole COVID thing, you need to get a bit creative to come up with some ideas how to promote the band, and we are sort of discussing how we should do this, maybe some streaming events or do something very special for our fans and try to interact with them in a way, because the live part is something that it will not happen in the at least closest.
Don't talk too much. Okay. Yes, talking about this great album, Marko, yes, a 10-track album. I mean, if I look back, like you say, for fans that know the band very good, most of the albums are either 10 tracks or 11 tracks. Some of them some even go to 13 tracks. I mean, yes, for fans that love to get this album in their hand, in how many formats is this new album available, Marko?
Yes, the sort of normal CD, of course. And then there's also this limited double CD that I think is really interesting because I found some very, very old recording that I created a bonus CD of. So it's called Death Race 13. It's actually 13 demo versions of songs from Death Race King and Possess 13. So, and that's, I mean, there seems to be like two kinds of people that really like to be geeky and appreciate the demo versions, and other people don't give a shit. I happen to be one of those. I really like demo versions when I hear, like, you know, Metallica released And Justice for All demos. That was amazing. So that's going to be interesting. There's a lot of cool versions there with completely different lyrics, and it's going to be cool. And also vinyl, gatefold, you know, the whole cover artwork was done in a way that you could unfold the sort of LP, and the artwork gets even greater. So, and we're going to actually release a cassette as well. That's going to be cool. So that's old school. It's and then obviously the digital stuff, it will be available everywhere. So that's going to be really cool.
Marko, for fans that like to get them, sometimes you get like a combination, like a package, a special package that has like the vinyl, or it has the CDs, or it has with T-shirts, patches, and everything included. Do you guys have now available one special package like that?
Yeah, I forgot to mention that. That's true. If you go into like metalblade.com/thecrown, you will see different sort of bundles. You get a shirt and a CD or a vinyl. And I also saw the Nuclear Blast shop. They had a different kind of bundles there with a long sleeve shirt with the CD. And so, yeah, it's a good start to check the Metal Blades Crown page. The pre-orders are available, so a lot of weird colors on vinyls and stuff like that. So just go nuts, you know.
Talking about the pre-orders, how are the pre-sales going?
Actually, I don't know. I haven't dared to ask. So far, the vibe is good, you know. I assume someone from Metal Blade will call me if it goes terrible. So I assume it's going great.
Marko, again, yes, we started this new year, 2021, after a devastated 2020, and hoping the COVID will be over soon so we can resume our normal life. Among that normal life, I mean, to go back to festivals. I go to festivals myself every year, every single festival in Europe. Last year, I felt like I was sentenced in a jail.
Yeah.
I couldn't go to any festivals. Should everything go back to normal? Do you already have shows and tours scheduled?
That is the tricky thing right now, because it's so fucking difficult to schedule and plan stuff. Because I know other metal colleagues, they sort of announced some festivals now for this summer, and it's in great danger that they will be cancelled again, you know.
Wow.
So actually, at this point, we don't have a single thing scheduled because it's so difficult. So, but as soon, hopefully, sort of the vaccine will be distributed properly around the planet. So, I mean, when the world comes back into a bit more normal state, of course, we want to play live. But now it's too fucked up now.
Like you said early on, so what we can expect now after the release or for the release of the new album is a streaming show?
Yeah, something like that. We are right now discussing what to do because, you need to get a bit creative and do something great. So we just need to figure out sort of how we're going to do it. Are we going to be on a stage, or where the hell are we going to be, you know? But it would be really nice to sort of figure out the concept. Maybe we should just fucking go in and just play World Destroyer straight up, you know, and show everybody that we can actually play it. Then maybe play some older stuff as well. So, so we will definitely do something.
Marko, before I leave, I want to thank you very much to have made this interview possible. I want to hand you over the microphone on Madam Messiah Radio for you to invite all the fans from the band, to invite them to buy the band's earlier albums and to buy this great upcoming new album to be released March 12th, 2021 via the Prestige Metal Blade Record. I'm talking about this great album, Royal Destroyer. I mean, I have already enjoyed this great first promotional single, Motorhead. I can't wait for more. I mean, but before we leave, Marko, please explain us a little about the Royal Destroyer album cover artwork. This one done by Christian Sloan Hall.
Christian also did the Cobra Speed Venom, and we also sort of discovered there once again that what a great partnership it was, because we were really, really proud and happy about the Cobra Speed Venom stuff, because I think we nailed a sort of format that we really enjoyed. I mean, it's actually sort of hand painted and there's shitloads of details everywhere. And we sort of like that kind of, I mean, it has that sort of old school approach to it. It's not just a simple digital thing, you know. There's a lot of details there, and we sort of see Royal Destroyer maybe as a sequel to Cobra Speed Venom. So what you're gonna do with a sequel, you need to tweak everything to 11. So we went for a more sort of over the top, a bit epic kind of cover artwork. And as I said earlier, it's actually made, the cover that you see, it's only 50%. It's gonna be a continuation of it when you open the LP, the gatefold. I like that you sort of take art seriously, and you only have one shot, you know, per album.
Yep.
I think teamwork with Sloan worked great, and yeah, it's gonna look pretty fucking nice on a big poster or a backdrop.
Yeah, it's just fantastic, I must say.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, Marko, yes, to conclude this great interview, once again, I want to thank you very much. I want you to say hi to the rest of the members. For me, please say hi to Magnus. For me, say hello to Johan, say hello to Robin, and say hello to Henrik for me, please.
Absolutely.
But before we leave, I want to hand you over the microphone of Madam Messiah Radio for you to thank whomever you want to thank, Marko.
All right. Yeah, thank you all for sharing our journey for so many years. So many albums we've done, and the journey continues. This is not the end. And yeah, we really appreciate your all support, and we try to get involved very much in our Facebook page. So please check out the Crown Official, because we like to interact and, you know, do silly stuff and contests and whatever. Join us and let's continue on this ride. Thank you, Metal Messiah Radio, for this interview. It's a great, and greetings from Sweden. This is Marko from the Crown.
Okay, as always, say metal on. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you, man. Bye.